Today we're here to talk about Robot Space Critical Storage Investigator, or CSI. This is the logical approach to answering the age-old question on IBM I: where did my disk storage go on the IBM I server? With Robot Space, you have a product that is meant for storage management around the IBM I server. It manages QTemp, it manages temporary storage, your ASPs, your main IASP, and any other independent external storage pools that you have. Along with that, it does a deep dive into library and IFS on IBM I to give you reporting and analysis of where did my disk space go. It also does cleanups, so on a regular basis, it has routines to purge off old information that you don't want on the system, leftover save files, extra journals, journal receivers, those typical things that cause problems over time. Then, of course, it gives you nice graphs and trends and notification along the way about your storage. But today we're here to deal with that. How do I find out where my storage has gone? So in Robot HA, we have Critical Storage Investigator. It's a way of getting to the source of the problem of where did my storage consumption come. We call it the logical approach. We're going to look at temporary storage on the system first. Sometimes you have runaway processes that are consuming temporary storage. We want to notify you about that and give you an approach to look at it. Past library and IFS changes, and then of course, if that's not where the problem is, running a new collection so that you can get the details that you need. Then also I'm going to dive into Collection Explorer, give you a way of taking a look at what has changed. So with Robot Space, once it's set up, it's easy to use. This is the Robot Space user interface. For the most part, Robot Space is a graphical user interface that you install on your desktop. It's free, it comes with the product. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time educating you on Robot Space, but one of the things that you do need to know is that this thing called the collection group. And I have a collection group on my particular system called Detail. It's important that you know about this because this becomes part of something that you would run at least once a week. I recommend that you collect all the details, that we collect things about members, logical files, source file members, and populate the information in our product. We grab all the libraries on the system, grab all the objects on the system, and we do a detailed analysis of IFS directories. I'm not going to spend a lot of time again on this topic, but being able to drill in and have all the detail that you need about directories and subdirectories is important too, because sometimes the storage space is in the IFS that's been gobbled up. And again, we want to answer that question, where did my disk space go? So across the top, we have our toolbar options, and one of the options is Critical Storage Investigator. This was added to Robot Space to give you a logical approach to finding out where your storage issue is. The first thing that we do is we give you the storage overview. And notice it says the blue is what's been used on your system. So this is storage physical consumption we have available, and then we have temporary storage consumption. I can kind of quickly say, you know what, temporary storage is not my problem because it's a very thin line as far as that goes. If I'm worried about it, I also have the ability to click on active jobs to see what jobs are on the system and pre-sort it by temporary storage consumption. If I had multiple ASPs, I could take a look at the various ASPs that I have on the system to drill into the storage. The next step would be to look at collection history. And collection history, again, is going to be based on those collections that we've set up to run periodically on the system. Again, as I recommended earlier, once a week is the way to go. Now I have my detail collection, and I can come in here and open this up, and I can see, what's my largest library on the system. I can drag this box open further if I want. But one of the things I wanted to show you is that I can highlight a collection period, and I can come down to the previous, or I could even go, let's just say, to the first one in December, and I can right click here and say I want to compare my libraries. I want to see the results of what has changed in these libraries. And so I choose that. And this will show me, since over the last month, the biggest change has been this library called JournalLib. Now, I can right-click on this, but notice I can't drill into the details here. I'm going to want to take a look at that and see, why is this growing so much? So the next step after collection history is to go into our current storage. And so what that gives you is the ability to run some reporting right now, submit a batch job off, and say, okay, now my problem is something that I didn't know about. It's something that's happened since I did my last full collection. So I'd run a collection current storage, and I can just come out here and submit this off the batch, or I can actually schedule it if I wanted to, but I would just submit it off the batch and run this report, and it's going to go out and look at my libraries. Now, another option that you would have is to come into this detail collection I showed you earlier, and I could just submit this. So I want to get a refresh collection. I can go out and submit it right now, and then that's going to go run on the system, and it's going to get all the detail. Now, we've done this before, so I'm going to just simply go into Collection Explorer. Now that we're in Collection Explorer, I know that my detail collection has everything that I want. Well, notice I just submitted one, so it's building that one. We're not going to use that, but we have one from the other day on Sunday, and we can see any new libraries that have been collected, any new objects, IFS directories, if we had any of those new, we'd show all those things. But what I want to do is, I said earlier my journal lib has grown the most. I can come in here and I can do a right click here, and I can look at the objects in my journal library, and I'll see right away for me, I know what's going on here. My audit journal hasn't been purged, my security audit journal, for a while. And if I go over to the right here, I can see it was built on November 3rd, and that would be the culprit that I'd be going after on this system. We also have performance data. We can see that that's grown a bit. I can look at those objects. We generally have performance history. These are related to collecting performance on the system, and we can see the things that have grown or not grown since our last collection. And if I wanted to go further and get a better picture, as I said earlier, I can do a right click here, look at the collection periods. Maybe I want to look at directories over that same time period. I chose directories in the background, and that'll give us a look into what's growing the most in directories. We'll see we have a temporary library. Again, this is probably something that could be purged off the system. We have some installs out here that are probably something I would look at too. I know this is our load manager. So there are, software installs, save files, OS upgrade information that's stored out in the IFS too that we might want to purge. So again, the logical approach is to look at temporary storage, then look at your library and IFS directory information that you've collected. And Robot Space makes it easy through the Critical Storage Investigator, and by using the Collection Explorer, I can even go further and look at the details of the largest libraries on the system or the largest objects on the system. I can even look at member information, and maybe I want to look at deleted records. So I want to thank you for joining me today on another quick tour of solving a problem. The problem here being, where'd my storage go on the IBM system? This gives me a great way of being able to quickly look at details of my system.